Can you tell me a little bit about yourself, Irma?
Oh, wow. I thought this was going to be about Aaron. No, okay. I'm a mom of a 27-year-old son with autism. And that changed my whole career path when he was diagnosed. 27 years, well, actually it was 24 years ago because he was diagnosed when he was 3. So that changed just the way that I focus my life. So it's before that I was in business and in the field. I wanted to do something around the arts. So that's where I thought my passion and my career was going to go, but it wasn't that. So I went into education, started a school for children with autism when Aaron was 8. And that had kept me really busy for a number of years. And I'm still involved with the school, which is called Wings Learning Center. It's one of the few schools in the Bay Area that serve specifically individuals with autism. And I'm an artist. I'm also a writer and philanthropist, and I like to be involved in nonprofits that support the internal growth as well as external growth of all individuals, not just people with disabilities, because we're all human beings and we all have the same needs and desires and aspirations, and we all want to be loved. We all want to love. So I'm really interested in that aspect as well. So.
Who has helped Aaron along his housing journey besides you and your husband?
Yeah, we have. He has a whole family of people around him. He's been pretty lucky, actually. When we started thinking about housing several years ago, I ran across your mom. Chris and Bach have been so instrumental in helping us learn, my husband and I, learn about the housing options for individuals with disabilities. So she's up there on that list. There's also there's a woman who helped us put together an individual plan for Aaron because he's nonverbal and he can't express his needs like you can, and he can't articulate them, but he definitely has needs, and he definitely has likes and dislikes, and he understands what's going on around him, but he doesn't have the language to express it. So we gather around about 30 people, family members, friends, teachers, therapists that know him and have known him over the years, and put together a plan of his dislikes, his likes, what are his strengths, what are things does he need support in. And it was a very detailed plan, in which we have it and we update it as he grows up. So that also has been part of it. So the people who've known him all his life really are continue to be part of this process. It's not just my husband and I.
Are there some aspects that you like about his current situation that is being built for him?
We're taking my parents passed away about 10 years ago, a little bit more than that, and they left my brother and me their house, which is in Burlington. It was a duplex. So we decided to turn the house into Aaron's home. And we're in the process of remodeling and basically rebuilding the house so that it meets his needs. And we've had to think about everything from the stairs to the kind of doorknobs to safety going out of how do we get out in case of fire, to soundproofing, walkways, safety to the street, to the neighbors. Everything has been thought through in real detail. And that's been thanks to Bach and some people that have worked with Bach in the past. So I'm excited that Aaron will have a place of his own. We call it his home. And he'll be living with one other roommate, and that can be anyone. It doesn't have to be a person, that needs as much support as he does. And then the other part of the duplex will be a family, a mother and a son right now that we've identified, who will be sort of overseeing his care, as sort of doing what my husband and I are doing for him right now, making sure that he has health care, to make sure he goes to the doctors, the dentist, that people come in to support him 24/7, that he has his, whatever he needs, clothes, that the house is maintained, and all of those details about living that he can't do on his own.
And are there aspects of his home that you're maybe not not as uh, are there aspects that you present that may be a challenge for him?
Well, I think I don't know if it's going to be a challenge because I don't know how he's going to be engaged in it yet. But part of the learning, as I see for him, is going to get to know his neighborhood, know his neighbors. It'd be nice for his neighbors to know him,
Mm-hmm.
and not just his immediate roommate and people who share the building with him, but it'd be nice if he gets to know who lives in the neighborhood. And that may or may not be a challenge. I don't know. I'm hoping it won't, because he's a sweet man. He's very likable, and I trust that people will see the specialness in him. So I think that's about that's the first thing I think about, because I think human connection and human relationships are really important. And yeah, that's important for me, and it's important for him too.
Yeah, I agree. Those human interaction. This is what has been so difficult with this whole COVID thing, is we're
Right.
so limited. So
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
we're seeing the impact of that. Yeah.
So Aaron will live with, you said, a mother and a son
Mm-hmm.
in his home.
Yeah. Yeah, they will share part of the house. It'll be a duplex. It's called the family teaching model that we're trying to replicate. And that's also a model that's Bach supports in some of the homes that they oversee. That's how I learned about it.
Yeah,
So,
I'm actually
you know,
I I'm actually doing my own family teaching model in my own home,
mhm,
so I'm very familiar
your
with
own way,
it.
are you?
Yes,
Yeah, that's great.
so it's
Yeah, so
great.
it's just basically you have your own home, and
Yeah,
that's what we want to see for him, have his own home.
that's
Yeah,
great.
so you're familiar with that model. Yeah.
Yep, I live with a mom and a 11-year-old little
Mhm.
girl, who I met when she was 4 years old. So
Oh my gosh.
I've I have stability, and
Yeah.
she's been growing up, and I've been watching her grow. So
No, that's
that
amazing.
family teaching model is a great model, and
Mhm.
I think that it definitely can be replicated, especially in a smaller environment, which it sounds like uh, Aaron's home will be.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's great. Uh, are there any words of advice or encouragement that you could give another parent that maybe wants to do something similar for their adult child?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would say is to really pay attention to your child, son or daughter's needs from their perspective. If they're verbal, ask them what it is that they want. And it may be something that parents sometimes don't want to hear or don't agree with. But I think it's really important to really do something for them, because so much of our uh, time as parents with individuals who maybe who need some support is that we step into their world and think that we know best, and we don't. we may know best sometimes, and even if we do, but they don't agree with it, they're adults, they have their rights, they have their um, desires that could conflict with the parents, and eventually we're going to be gone, and they're going to stay. So I would suggest to parents to really honestly look at what is best for their child from their point of view. And sometimes that's harder than others. And it's hard to do, to let go of our children. But I think that's where I see the biggest need in parents in this transition to letting our children go. It's that the parents want to hold on, as long as possible, and I do too. I mean, I love my son. I want to be with him as much as possible, but I know that's not the best thing for him.
And how when do you think Aaron's home will be completed?
Probably another 2 years. I'm thinking by his 30th birthday, maybe that'll be his 30th birthday present. He's
Wow.
going to be 28 this June, so could very well be now. So,
Does Aaron have support through the regional center?
right now, he not yet, but once we have the home established, I will be, and I think I did some of this work with your mom, and she's just so knowledgeable about everything, that we started to look for a supported living partner, so that they will vendorize somebody that's vendorized, so that they will oversee Aaron's care when he's in his home. And Parka was the organization that we connected with. So so that they will be overseeing his one-to-one aides that are coming into the house. Bach will be overseeing the house itself, the property management piece. And eventually we plan to give the house over to Bach, so that it's basically going to be a legacy home as long as Aaron lives there. And even if he doesn't live there, hopefully somebody else would take advantage of that home.
That's wonderful. And what does Aaron like to do for fun, like in the community?
He likes the beach. It would be a day he goes to the beach. He likes to walk. He loves music. He loves to listen to all different kinds of music, videos, and he likes puzzles. He loves to rearrange things, and he's got a pretty busy mind. So he's, yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Irma, for taking the time to do this with me.
Oh, you're welcome, Darcy. I'm really honored that you asked me, and also I'm so thrilled that you're doing this really important work.
Thank you.